Have you ever stopped to think about how many truths we keep in silence? I'm not talking about the big lies we all know, but those small secrets, those truths we whisper in the dark, hoping no one hears them. The ones that, over time, we stop questioning and that become part of our reality. Today, I want to tell you a story I've heard so many times, it almost feels real. Whispered Lies, Stories from the Unseen speaks about those silent lies, the ones that slip into our lives without us even noticing. Lies so small they seem harmless, but over time, they shape us, define us. And here's where I ask you a question, one that might make you think a little more than usual. How many of those small lies have built the life you have today? How many truths have you not been told? This story isn't just about family secrets or ancient legends, it's about something deeper, something more personal. I want you to join me as we explore what lies behind those whispered lies. Because sometimes, what we don't see is what affects us the most. Let me take you to a small town, one of those places where the streets seem to whisper secrets with every step. In this town lives a family that holds a truth few know. They have a strange and dangerous gift. Every lie they whisper, no matter how small, becomes reality. At first, it seemed like a blessing. The lies were simple, innocent. It won't rain today, and the clouds would vanish from the sky. The child is healthy, and the sick boy would regain his strength. The family got used to using this power to their advantage, without thinking of the consequences. But as with everything in life, things got complicated. What happens when the lies become bigger, harder to control? What would happen if the line between reality and fiction began to blur? This power, once seen as a blessing, started to feel like a curse. How can they live with the burden of knowing that every word they speak has the potential to alter reality? And perhaps most unsettling, what happens to the lies they don't remember telling? Everything came crashing down the day one of the youngest in the family, a boy named Matteo, decided he couldn't take it anymore. As they grew up, they were always taught to be careful, to not use their gift recklessly. But Matteo was tired of living in a world of lies, tired of not knowing what was real and what wasn't. So, he did the unthinkable, he decided to tell the truth. That day, in the town square, with every eye on him, Matteo broke the silence. Everything you've believed until now, everything you know, it's a lie. In that moment, it was as if the town froze. The faces of the people showed confusion, fear, anger. Because what happens when the truth you've always known crumbles right before your eyes? Matteo realized something painful. The truth, as freeing as it might seem, can also be devastating. People began to question everything, their memories, their relationships, their very lives. Was it possible that everything they knew was an illusion, shaped by the words of this family? And what about us? How many of our own truths are just a collection of stories we've chosen to believe? Matteo found himself at a crossroads. He had unleashed a storm with his confession. The town was on the brink of collapse, and the people who once trusted him and his family now looked at them with suspicion. But Matteo knew he couldn't turn back. He decided to confront what his family had avoided for generations, the truth. In that moment, he understood something fundamental. While lies can be comforting and shield us from the harshness of the world, only the truth has the power to set us free. It's difficult, yes. Painful, too. But it's the only way to live authentically. Matteo stood before his family, before the entire town, and said, no matter how many lies have been told, the truth will always find its way. In that instant, the lies began to dissolve, as if the very air absorbed them, leaving behind a sense of relief. Because in the end, the truth, no matter how hard it is, always brings us back to who we truly are. What I wonder, and what you might be wondering too, is, could we live with the complete truth? Or are we, unknowingly, living our own whispered lies because it's easier than facing reality? In the end, I wonder if we're really ready for the truth. Lies, no matter how small, offer us temporary refuges, comfortable places where we can hide from the chaos that sometimes is reality. But what happens when we can no longer run away? When the truth, like in Matteo's story, comes to light and there's no way to hide. As I tell this story, you might have recalled those small lies you've told throughout your life. Maybe you've said everything's fine when it wasn't, or perhaps you've let others believe something that wasn't entirely true just to avoid confrontation. The interesting thing about these lies is that, over time, they can become such a normal part of our lives that we barely notice their presence. They blend with our reality, merge into our daily lives, until there comes a point when we can't distinguish what is true and what isn't. But if there's anything I've learned from Mateo's story, it's that even though the truth may be uncomfortable and may shake the foundations of what we know, it is always more liberating than a lie. Yes, the truth can hurt. It can make us question everything we've built. However, it also has the power to heal, to make us stronger, to show us who we really are. So, the question that remains is, are you willing to confront your own truths? Perhaps, like Mateo, you've lived among small lies that have kept you safe from an uncomfortable reality. And that's okay, we all do it at some point. But what matters is not whether you've lied, but whether you're willing to seek the truth when the time comes. Because ultimately, what we are is not defined by the lies we whisper, but by the truths we have the courage to face. To close, I'd like you to think about a small lie you've told or lived. Has it served you in any way? Has it helped you avoid confrontation or soften a blow? Or, on the contrary, do you think that, in the long run, that lie has affected you more than you imagined? Let me know in the comments, what small lie have you told that has marked you? I'm sure that by sharing our stories, we can find some truth, even amidst the most deceptive whispers.